What is going on, everyone? My name is Jack Seville and I'm here today not for a WWE pay-per-view review. This is my first ever non-WWE pay-per-view event. Why have I got my hoodie up? This is my beanie right here. It is actually going to be Ring of Honor Best in the World 2015 review. They've been doing one of these since like 2010, something like that, or maybe a bit further. But I just finished watching the Best in the World pay-per-view, and it was an awesome show. Great stuff. And I'm really enjoying what Ring of Honor is doing. So, anyway, let's get into the first match, which was Mark Briscoe, which was Jay Briscoe's brother, versus Donovan Dijak from the House of Truth. Of course, Truth Martini was there. And ODB, who was in TNA for a long while, she was there to going with Mark Briscoe, which kind of made sense. And, you know, now they have like someone in each corner because Mark's brother Jay will face Truth Martini's boy Jay Lethal for the Battle of the Belts match. Yeah, it was a fine match, you know. We needed something to kick off this show. Of course, I really like the Briscoes. I think they're a pretty good team, especially Mark. He's pretty cool. But just having a look here, who I believe, yeah, Mark Briscoe won this match. It was fine, pretty forgettable, but it's still fine. Anyway, next up we have ACH and Matt Sydal. Is that how it is, or aka Evan Bourne? Taking on the Decade, which is Paige and not from WWE, and Whitmer with Colby Corino as their young boy. They've been doing this thing where they're trying to get Colby Corino to like wrestle all his fights, and he gets absolutely destroyed all the time. So they're trying to get under King Corino's skin, who was on commentary with Kevin Kelly. And so Whitmer is greeted to a beautiful chant of "Fuck you, Whitmer." So yeah, he's been a bit of a prick to Colby. So the early story was that Paige wanted no part of ACH, and that Sydal jammed his knee early on a float over, and then this allowed the Decade to get pissed to get some heat. And yeah, pretty good stuff. You got your jumps over the top rope, but of course, Paige hit the rite of passage to get the win on Sydal. I feel that this match is going to lead somewhere down the line to Colby breaking away from the Decade and him teaming up with his dad, if that's possible, against the Decade. So yeah, it was a, you know, it was a pretty okay match, but nothing amazing happened. Anyway, we get to Dalton Castle versus Silas Young. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is a natural-born match and a natural-born feud because Silas Young, who's playing the heel, he's like all serious and he says he's the last real man of wrestling and he takes no shit from anyone and he takes everything seriously. And then you have Dalton Castle, who's the complete opposite. He's very flamboyant, and he's got his little manservants with him, and he's fanning them, and they look like something out of a Mardi Gras gay lesbian parade. And he comes out to a rendition of I Want It All by Queen, which is a pretty awesome song. And so, yeah, I really like Dalton Castle's character. He's very flamboyant and cool. Natural born feud match, whatever. Dalton Castle was the face in this, you know. It kind of make more sense for, like, Dalton Castle to be, like, the heel because he's, you know, being that flamboyant, having manservants, that's so heelish. And, you know, Silas Young, you know, he's a no-nonsense guy. He goes in there and kicks your ass. So it's kind of weird that they reversed the role, kind of being like, you know, Dalton's, you know, a showman kind of guy, and then like Silas is just miserable and all that. But yeah, you know, this was a pretty okay match. This wasn't by far the best match on this card, not ever, but there was a fun spot where, like, Castle, he went into, like, a sunset flip. Young didn't want to go down. The boys are, like, fanning him, trying to make him fall down. And his man-sevens are doing weird things, like, doing a weird chant, like, oh, like, the gayest chant ever. But I think Castle hit, like, a low blow on him, rolled him up to get the win. And then the Young's just upset. He lays him out with, like, a spinning TKO. I love that move. And this is probably going to continue. Yeah, it was okay. Not that good. It happened. So then we get to CNC Wrestle Factory. I believe that's the name of the team. Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander versus War Machine, Hanson and Roderick. They kind of remind me of the Highlanders from WWE. I think it's just because of their beards. My thoughts on this, it wasn't that good of a match. Yeah, Alexander would show up later on in the night. Alexander had found had used like a wrench they used to beat Moose on Ring of Honor wrestling last week, and Alexander never tried to make the save because he was pissed off at Coleman, and then he was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna attack you, but then he didn't, and then he was done and just pissed off, and this kind of felt like it belonged on a TV show. It didn't really look like it should be on a pay-per-view, but anyway, War Machine won, so yeah, alright. Then we get to a pretty awesome, pretty good match. Very, very good stuff. The Ring of Honor World Title #1 Contenders match. The winner, I believe, faces the champion at Death Before Dishonor. So it is Roderick Strong, who's been there for a long while, I believe, taking on Moose, who's kind of like a Goldberg, Ryback kind of character, and everyone's going, Moose, Moose. So he's over with the crowd. And then Michael Elgin, I think he can do some, he can put on some pretty okay matches, but judging by the way I see him, but I don't think the Ring of Honor crowd don't really like him. He's kind of like a John Cena kind of thing. Anyway, these guys had a really good match. Some of the spots that they were doing, Moose is pretty damn cool. I was actually hoping he would win, but Roderick Strong has been there for a while, so... But, like, Moose did lose to Cedric, so that kind of put him off game. Roderick Strong did win. Apparently, from what I've heard, he's been putting on a lot of great matches, so I guess he deserved it, but from a guy who hasn't really watched Ring of Honor that much, I kind of wanted Moose to win. But anyway, his manager, Veda Scott, whatever, she's slapping Moose in the face a whole bunch of times, and she's pissed. And then all of a sudden, Alexander Cedric comes in and just hits Moose with that wrench right in the head. Fans are booing him, so it's obviously a heel turn. And then Alexander and Vader walk off, and Moose is just selling it. And so yeah, Strong's challenging for the title. So it's either him versus Jay Briscoe or Jay Lethal. Both should be very good matches. So yeah, pretty good match here, but definitely not the best. Then we get to a 6-man tag team match. It is the Kingdom, which is made up of former world champion Adam Cole, Michael Bennett, and Matt Taven, with Maria, who used to be in WWE a while ago, taking on the Bullet Club, AJ Styles, of course we all know, used to be in TNA, and the Young Bucks, which are one of the best tag teams in wrestling right now. So, yeah, I really, really like this match. It was definitely so good. It's just, the funny thing was, King Carino was just marking out big time for this match. The crowd was definitely into the Bullet Club. They love those guys. And I originally know who I was because I couldn't go on any wrestling site without seeing that fucking Bullet Club logo. So they are definitely probably the most over team in and fucking stable in wrestling right now. So, they're doing some cool things, and they're doing the jump over the top rope, all three guys do, and there's a spot where they try to put him through, like, they had two chairs set up, and they had like a guardrail. Was that or was that the tag team match? I don't know. But they teased to kick Maria in the face, but then they end up doing it. This is just a kick-ass match, and they do a triple team indie taker. They had which is like the Young Bucks had them. Oh no, I think it was AJ and one of the Young Bucks, Matt or Nick, whatever. They both got him in like the tombstone position, and then the other Young Buck jumps up, and then they both do an indie taker. It looked really cool, and they did it like a style clash, and that's how we end the match. So so I don't know what they're gonna do with this. Maybe like a breakup. But I really, really enjoy this match. Lots of fun here. Yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun watching this match. Nice to see a really good six-man tag match. It kind of reminded me of Wyatt's vs. The Shield at Elimination Chamber last year, because aren't both these guys heels? And during that time, both the Shield and the Wyatts were heels, so I guess that kind of makes sense. Anyway, we get the Ring of Honor Tag Team Titles match, and it is a no disqualification match. It is the Addiction, which is Daniels and Kazarian, both of which used to be in TNA, taking on reDRagon, which is made up of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. There we go. Yeah, this was really good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, a lot of brutal stuffs here, and so they did one bit where like he counters like a moonsault and went into a triangle choke. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And they started fighting like all over the place in that. What else? Just reading some of the stuff here. Yeah, that was the bit where they got the piece of the barricade and they bridged it onto some chairs and they laid him out on it, and then Kazarian got suplexed into a ladder, which looked brutal. I hate it when guys like go ladders. It just looks so bad. Well, like, not in that way, but like just pain-wise. And this all ended with the Addiction getting a low blow on Fish and scoring the win with their celebrity rehab move. It's very weird, kind of like a codebreaker kind of thing. And then yeah, they end up winning, and the Addiction ends up retaining because Chris Sabin got involved with it. But yeah, pretty good match. And they'll lead. I can I got my words mumbled. So good stuff. Then we get to the main event, which is Jay Briscoe, the Ring of Honor World Champion, versus Jay Lethal, the TV Champion, and they're putting both of their championships on the line. And yeah, this was a great match, great stuff. Jay Lethal and Martini, they're wearing like white stuff, and then Jay Briscoe's got like a gas mask on. He's ready to go to war. And then the House of Truth is outside, and the referee immediately tells them to piss off. And so yeah, this was awesome stuff. They did a lot of stiff moves. Briscoe was getting some heat. Nigel McGuinness was on commentary. And Nigel McGuinness then threw out Truth Martini because he got involved again. They had a timekeeper's table at ringside, and Briscoe hit like this crazy ass move through the table, and they did a series of reversals, and then Lethal then hits the J Driller, then the Lethal Injection to score the win, and he is now the Ring of Honor World Champion. And the TV champion. So, congratulations to Jay Lethal. That was a great match between those two. Match of the night is definitely the main event, in my opinion. And I'll give the show a 7.5 out of 10, because very good stuff. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like if you did. Comment down below and subscribe for more stuff. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at JackmanLaw31. And I'm out in 3, 2, 1.